Hi, let's take a quick tour of the final project, beginning with the big picture, what this project is all about, and why you're doing it. Then we'll go on to highlight some of the key details and requirements that I'll be looking for when I evaluate your projects at the end of the semester. After that, we'll take a look at a few completed student projects from previous semesters so I can point out examples of the variety of different approaches possible when it comes to creating a public-facing website about your local social issue. So all semester long, you've been researching and writing about your local social issues. You've explored your own connections to your issue in your flash memoir, other people's stories of your issue via the profile, and so you're just now wrapping up your revisions of the persuasion effect projects, which asked you to in some way take a stand or persuade about your issue. These three major projects are the raw material, your content for the final project. Your job will be to revise, adapt, polish, and arrange all of this material into a standalone website that authentically engages with your local social issue and does so in a way that appeals to a local public audience of people who you feel need to learn about and become engaged with your issue. In other words, the website is a container for the work you've produced in this class this semester, but it's also designed to be a real public project, one that uses the strategies of writing that we've practiced this semester to effectively promote change and awareness around your issue. In this sense, your final project should be an attempt to bring to life this big idea about writing that we've touched on all semester, that writing is a form of action and that through writing we can respond to problems and create change in the world. So you should read through these project guidelines very carefully, take a few times, print them out, take notes on the things that strike you as especially important to your own project, and you should note down any places that seem confusing or unclear so that you can ask me about them in your letter that you'll write me for Lab 5. I want you to pay really close attention to the requirements and key features section here. This is the closest thing you're going to get to a checklist for finishing your project, so consider printing this section out especially and marking it up with highlights, notes, and questions that you might have. The few don'ts section mentions the stuff we want you to avoid in this project because it will weaken the finished project. So making it less rhetorical or less likely to have an impact on your intended audience. Some of those things that students have made mistakes on in the past, we've tried to capture here so that you can make sure that you don't do them. And then the following sections, layout and design, and then the revising and adapting sections are also really, really important too as you try to take your work to the next level and really make it appear authentic and ready to be shared with the public. Finally, the FAQ section at the bottom is where we've assembled a whole bunch of questions that students have asked us over the years as they've worked on these projects, and so we've assembled them here so that you can come back to them. And if you have any questions now, as I'm talking, odds are that they'll be answered in this section, and if not, please ask them in your letter. This is the reading and viewing for week 13, resources and examples for the website project. It features a bunch of resources that you can look through for inspiration and ideas for your final project as well. One of the links on this page, as we scroll down, where is it? Right here, Student Examples, takes you to the gallery of student projects where you can see previous students' final projects when you click on the Publication tab right here. Honestly, I think looking at previous student projects is one of the best ways to really get the gist of what we're looking for in your final project, but don't let what you see in these previous projects limit you to only following the footsteps of what they've done. You should feel free to take your website in unexpected directions, try new things in layout and design, add new content that fills in gaps, create new pages, and do whatever else you think would help you connect with a local public audience concerned with your issue in an authentic way. Okay, so let's have a look at a couple of past student projects. If you click on the very first example, it'll take you to a page called Stop Utah. This student focused on the school-to-prison pipeline among Utah's Native American youth, and their opening page is bold and makes great use of a single logo, bold color of orange, and then this white text to draw us into their issue. I really like the simplicity and the way they've distilled or boiled down their issue to a couple of key title ideas that get me engaged in their topic. Utah's Native American students need your help. Look how they're calling me to action already from the very beginning. I really like that gesture. I like the fact that they've added in facts down here at the bottom, but in shorthand form. It's not a whole paragraph that I have to read initially. It's just giving me the gist of this subject. They've cited those facts with a couple of little footnotes down here at the bottom as well, giving more credibility to these facts instead of just leaving them by themselves. Okay, as you come up here, you see a variety of links up here at the top. We'll take a look at a couple of their features. Notice the design work that's gone into this page. Notice the hyperlinks that connect me as a reader to resources that went into this piece. Absolutely crucial to your piece that you use hyperlinks to connect me out to the resources you are drawing from so that you create that active, authentic sense of engagement with your audience. I like the way that there's difference in colors of graphics. There's difference in colors of text as well, but not a lot. There's just this gray regular text. Then there's a few large headers as well. This is providing variation and a sense of interesting layout for me as a reader coming through here. Moving through this page is a lot more engaging than it would be if it were just all single text, especially as this is one of the first pages that someone's likely to click on because it's the first link at the top. We really want to pay attention to graphics and design and how we can use elements of design and layout to really draw readers in. So I think this is an excellent example. And then again, here's a button that gets me to another page. Where does it take me? I'm not sure. Over to one of their other pieces, which is great. So they're connecting me to their other pieces both at the top and at the bottom. And look how there's that sense of connectivity throughout this whole site. I can click on any one of these links and it'll get me to other places. So I'm not limited to just getting to places using these top links. I'm also being asked to engage in this in a variety of other ways, which I think is really nice. Let's look at one more piece. I think they did a couple of different profile projects. They interviewed, the student was a little extra. They interviewed a bunch of people. Here's one of them. Notice how we have an image, we have a bold title up there, we have the hyperlinks are still there. This piece then becomes more text-based as you scroll down, but it looks really good. It's focused on text at that point. And I think that's fine for some of your pieces, as long as I see evidence of you doing other layout and design work in other places. The layout and design here is still very clean. Note the full space in between paragraphs that allows me to digest this in manageable chunks. Sorry to use the word chunks, but at the same time, also notice that there's no indentation here as well, and that's appropriate for this kind of digital writing. This is the standard for clear paragraphs in most digital spaces these days. All right, let's take a look at one more example. I like this student's project a lot. Again, simple message on the homepage that really draws us into what's going on. And we see these links to various different stuff that also mirror the links up here as well. I like that simple graphic design. As we scroll down, we see this looks like an authentic website for an organization dedicated to land conservation in Utah. Wix and Weebly make that possible. So a lot of the design is something that will be available to you through these platforms. It's up to you to get your message into the design that's already there. Here's their mission statement. They've got that as sort of the second link up here that really tells us, that's the place to go next. I like that. Notice the simple work they've done with just a little bit of text design, a little bit of colors, and a few links to their other pieces as well. So really nice. Take a look at our partners. I believe this might have been their profile. Notice the text boxes, just layout work that really draws me into this. All semester long, they've worked on perfecting the text in this piece. Same with you on your flash memoir, your profile, your persuasion effect. You've worked on getting the writing really strong. Hopefully it's almost all the way there by this point that you put it on your website. The next step is to take it one step further and make the layout and design really call out to a local audience and make this piece appear interesting on the page. I really like that they've added this resource page here at the very end. What a great way to connect people with resources, and nice, just careful design work. It's nothing special. It's nothing like, bells and whistles. It's just clear and very nicely done. A little icon instead of a regular bullet point. A different color text in larger size that mirrors this text up here. White text that explains what I'm about to get to. So it's not just these links alone, but it tells me where I can go, and in fact it even connects me to volunteer opportunities on each one of these pages. This is really calling me to action as an authentic project, and feels like if I ran across this on the web, I would feel like I'd reached an organization almost that is working on this issue. And so that's what we're going for with this final project website. It's this idea that you are building something that is public facing and that authentically engages with your issue in a way that when I read through it, it would not be at all immediately apparent to me that I'm reading just a project from English 2010 from a Salt Lake Community College student, but instead something that is really designed to reach out to your local community about your issue that you've been reading, writing, and studying all semester long. So if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me, but good luck as you continue to work on this final project.